Reggie Fountain's American Powerboat Television is brought to you by Fountain Powerboats, the king of performance, and by Fountain Frenzy, high-performance wax.
Welcome to American Powerboat Television, the fastest half hour on the water. This week we're bringing you OSS National Championship Racing from the Horny Toad here in Lake of the Ozarks. Charlie, catamaran racing, and only 9 points separating the 850 class.
Hooters Hotel and Casino, Team CRC have a tight battle. They've had this battle all year. The winner here is going to be that national champion.
Another tight battle is in the OSS Cat Lights. These guys have been brutal all year long, side by side. Some of the best racing we've captured on film all year long. Only a few points separating 3 boats.
Oh, Popeye's Famous Fried Chicken, Team Peppers, and the dark horse in 3rd place, the Motley Crew, all can win this national championship.
Now let's talk about some of the fast boats we're going to see out here, the Extremes. We've got some incredible boats capable of speeds of well over 170 miles an hour going to take to this close course, and one of them is the big 4-engine boat of Bob Morgan.
Oh, Bob Morgan's boat, 46 Skater. That boat's going to be a tear through these turns. It may not have the top end speed as Budweiser Select, but it's going to be in the hunt.
Well, let's not forget, we are actually in Budweiser country here, so you know that John Tomlinson and David Scott, they are looking forward to really running well, and they got to do good in their hometown.
Team CRC could also be the spoiler today. That boat runs strong. There's a lot of experience in that boat. They could be right there also.
First race V-bottoms, Charlie, double points, but it looks like it's all but wrapped up for the Miccosukee team.
Yeah, that Miccosukee Fountain from the first race out in Biloxi has been the hot boat on the course. They've won everything, and they have been the dominant player this year.
Now, they got a little bit of competition as the Fury boat's going to go out there and try to be a spoiler, but it'll be interesting to see how it works out. Miccosukee really all but has it sewn up, and they're coming out here to clinch themselves the championship. Now, in the single-engine class, it's really still pretty close, but it looks like Screaming Eagle is in a dominant position.
They are. They've been the most consistent boat this year, but Wild Ride is nipping at their heels.
One thing we've got going on here at the National Championships, this is a very tight race course. 4.5 miles, but 9 turns.
You know, Martin, you're right. 4.5 miles, a very tight course. It's probably the shortest course we've ever raced on, so it's going to be really a driver's race, but setup's going to come into play. If they set that boat up to turn for the turns, they probably have an advantage, but some of the guys may want to set it up for that long back straightaway. That may be the spoiler.
Well, earlier we had an opportunity to talk to some of the racers in the pits. Let's see what they had to say.
You know, I like the course. It's like some of the others that we've had at Pickwick and up in St. Clair. I think it's a fast course. I think it's going to surprise some people. The straightaways are longer than we thought they were going to be. The turns are more like 180s at either end. So it's going to be a good fast race tomorrow.
It's a must win, you know, do or die. So we got to push hard right out of the gate.
All we have to do is finish, and I think we got the title sewn up. And it's the second time I ran with White this year. We ran in Orange Beach together, and we did a real good job there. And I think it's going to be really good here at the lake.
Hooters Hotel and Casino, you guys are leading the points going into this final race. Is that more pressure or less pressure being out in front?
It really doesn't make a difference at this point, Charlie. We're 9 points up. It's a double points event. If we don't beat CRC, they win by 1 point, so we have to win Sundays.
You know, we're going to be fogging it pretty hard through these turns, and the boat's not set, you know, usually when you're going that fast, and, you know, it's moving around. So, I mean, it's like a, you know, NASCAR type course.
Sometimes it's nice being the chaser than the leader going into that final race.
Yeah, they got some pressure on them this week, Charlie. We've been down here since Monday testing. We got pulling everything out of the truck we got for these guys. We're not going down without a fight tonight.
Well, we got to lay it down. We have no choice. These other guys might be able to get away with a 2nd place or a 3rd place and pull something off, but we got to win and see how the pieces fall behind us.
We'll be back for the start of the V-bottoms here at the OSS National Championships in Lake of the Ozarks right after this.
This portion of American Powerboat Television is brought to you by Fountain Powerboats, the king of performance, and by Fountain Frenzy, high-performance wax.
Welcome back to the Lake of the Ozarks and the Offshore Super Series National Championship. And we have a green flag for the V-bottoms, and we've got a special entry here this week in Lake of the Ozarks. Honeyparty.com, over from Europe's P1 class. They are racing with the V-bottoms in a separate class, but they're running very strong. First boat out of the gates. The second boat overall, Miccosukee Indian Gaming. They are in the points lead right now for the National Championships in OSSV, and they are currently in the lead in the V-bottom class. Trying to run down Honeyparty.com. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. Big horsepower discrepancy there.
And in the V-Light class, we got a great start going here all the way on the inside, Team Typhoon. We got Wild Ride next to him, Screaming Eagle. There's our V-Light leader right now, Popeye's Famous Fried Chicken. 2nd place, Screaming Eagle. 3rd place, all the way on the outside, Team Wild Ride with Larry and John Kostelak.
Coming in fourth place, the black boat, that is Team Typhoon, as Popeye's Famous Fried Chicken rounds out the turn, followed by Screaming Eagle, Wild Ride, and Team Typhoon with Randy Schluss and Jim Natoli rounding out the fleet.
And the points battle is coming out of this final race between Screaming Eagle and Wild Ride, and each one of the teams did their math last night, Martin, to find out where they needed to finish for that national title.
Team Typhoon also in the hunt, but the way they have to finish makes a big difference. Just because you win here today does not necessarily mean you're going to walk away with a championship. As we look at our leader in Cat Outboard, car credit 411.com, Ryan Beckley and John Talley, they have that boat running very well today.
And here's our second place boat, Bermuda Barracuda, but they are our points leaders in the overall national title.
Here comes Miccosukee Indian Gaming, big boat speed in that 42-foot V-bottom, running down the Cat Outboard of car credit 411.com.
It's kind of a great battle you see right here in flat water between the Cat Outboard and the V-bottom boat. Both very similar speeds on top end. The Miccosukee Indian Gaming boat's got a little bit better acceleration through the turns over the Cat Outboard.
Honeyparty.com, over from Europe's P1 class. This is a brand new skater, Charlie, out here with a new configuration. It's got some big horsepower. It's running shaft drives and a rudder, and they've been messing with this boat all week trying to get it dialed in. This is the first race, and they are trying to find the right setup before they head this boat off to Europe.
We're just here really shaking it down and doing a few races, getting it ready for next year. This has got Arnson drives, a central rudder. It's a little bit more trick than the other skaters that have been built like this. It's a lot quicker, and we've got a few little teething problems, as you can hear. But once we sort those out, I think we'll have a winning boat. We're running P1 next year, which is all over Europe. We're meant to be doing it later this year, but the boat wasn't ready in time, so we thought we'd finish the American circuit. We're going to Destin and Key West as well.
Well, Honeyparty.com is over here setting up for the 2008 P1 Series. We'll come back with more racing action from Lake of the Ozarks for the Offshore Super Series National Championships right after this.
This segment of American Powerboat Television is brought to you by the Horny Toad at Toad Cove.
Welcome back to the Lake of the Ozarks and the OSS National Championships here on American Powerboat Television. But here comes Miccosukee Indian Gaming. They are your leaders in OSSV, followed by our leader here in the V-Light category. That is Popeye's Famous Fried Chicken with Brandy Wiley and George Aruma.
And look at this run these guys are making on the outside. Team Wild Ride is going to try to go by Screaming Eagle on the outside of turn 5 and 6. That's a pretty ballsy move these guys are making, maintaining that kind of boat speed on the outside, but it looks like they're going to pull it off, Martin.
You know, they're not going to run him down, though. It looks like Screaming Eagle is able to hold a little bit of speed, and Screaming Eagle now pushes Wild Ride out a little bit, but Wild Ride is now coming on strong. Oh, Team Typhoon has spun out. They were trying to reel him in, close the gap, and they went a little too aggressive, spun the boat out as Wild Ride now gets by Team Screaming Eagle.
That's Wild Ride now in second place, Screaming Eagle in third place, but our leader continues to be Popeye's Famous Fried Chicken, Brandon Willie and George Aruma.
Continuing to lead in OSSV is Miccosukee Indian Gaming with Wyatt Fountain and Michael Seabold. Now, Michael Seabold of the legendary Seabold family, as well as Wyatt Fountain. And Charlie Hames had an opportunity to talk to the two racing legends, Reggie and Billy.
I started way back in 1954, I hate to admit it, and was racing tunnel boats. And my good friend Billy here, he was a big star on the Mercury Factory racing team, and I was eventually able to get on the team with Billy and Earl Bentz, and I think for 4 years, we never lost a race, but this was kind of the leader there. He was Mr. Mercury, the best of all the best.
Michael's in the Miccosukee boat, and Tim drives for Bud Light, you know, and the Formula One stuff. So, you know, it's a family sport for us that turned full time.
Well, Wild Ride cannot afford to come in any position other than first place if they want to have a shot, and they are now reeling in Popeye's Famous Fried Chicken. They've got boat speed as they move to the inside. They're now almost side by side as they head towards the turn, and they dive to the inside and make a great move. They're going to come out a boat length ahead of Popeye's Famous Fried Chicken. Like you said, Charlie, they cannot possibly come in any other position than first if they want to win the championship, and they have now moved into the lead ahead of Popeye's. However, if they don't put another boat between them and the Screaming Eagle team, Screaming Eagle could very well walk away with the championship.
And coming across to take the win in the V-bottom class, Team Miccosukee Indian Gaming. They won the race and the overall national